Bullying is a concern throughout childhood into adulthood that can take on various forms from picking on the smallest kid in the playground by the biggest kid, which can also translate to adults in the workplace or in social. Now there's a more muscular dude or gentleman picking on someone that is less muscular, more pudgy, also considered fat. These transitions that happen to occur, it's all forms of control or power. The big kid is the size relation is purely that, it's just a size relation. 90% of little kids, it's usually a big kid or a big kid that has a couple of friends that are just as not quite as developed through changes, but may not be as big, but can be roughly the same size. One might be a little bit more wired than the others. Descriptive terms. And the other kid is usually someone that's smaller in the age group or in a lesser grade. Examples being a first grader picking on a kindergartner, a sixth grader picking on a fifth grader, a high school picking on a junior high student. Or be it that a freshman in college picking on a senior in high school. Now it also transitions into adulthood, and it's evident in the military, retail work, to interactions with friends and groups. Usually those that are picked on usually end up being the secluded ones, also signifies as loners, that become a target because they're loners. What people don't happen to realize is that might be a psychological effect that developed from being bullied or picked on when they were younger, or from having an inadequate environment at home. The same cause that can go for bullying being in a troubled situation at home, be it with either parent or both parents, or lack of one or the other, that usually can be seen in children that tend to act out a lot more than normal kids, are considered abnormal or with behavioral issues. That pulls into play different effects and whatnot, but in bullying, you see the CDC cites that children who are victimized by bullies suffer psychological harm, tend to be loners, perform poorly in school, have a negative view of school or work, low self-esteem, and physical symptoms such as headaches, migraines, peptic or stomach ulcers, all of them stress reduced, and quite possibly some PTSD symptoms. To include and if they're being picked on based off of their body image, be them slightly on the bigger side, not necessarily fat, but bigger than any of the normal kids, they tend to pick up things like bulimia and stuff like that, so further psychological issues. And this can also transfer into children being able to bully adults. Now, if we're an adult that has low self-esteem or happens to be a loner, gets picked on by a group of kids or gets insulted by a group of kids, the psychological affect can go back to when they were being bullied and cause them to lash out or suffer, at which point you see incidences where adults end up beating up little kids. Now, 90% of those videos, people record the beating up of the kid, but not necessarily what caused the beating up of the kid. But when it comes to, this is a video that will showcase the normal idolized interaction that comes with bullying and confrontation method.
Call me an idiot.
You're an idiot.
What'd you say?
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot.
You're ugly.
That hurts my feelings.
Yeah, like I care.
I'm gonna get you in trouble.
Sure, short stuff.
I'm taller than you. Shut up. You call me an idiot one more time and I will windmill kick your face.
Like I care. Like you could do anything in those clothes.
These clothes are freaking awesome, okay?
Sure, plaid and sweater vest.
Oh, you have eyes. You can see. Stop right, give her a big hand clap.
Now in this video, like I said, that showcased most instances of someone standing up to a bully. That didn't help the situation any because that heated the situation in regards to the person being bullied, the victim. All that did was feed the ego of the bully because they got that reaction. Now there are methods that cope with this. Therapy being a slightly extreme method, but there are individual things you can do. Some kids and adults dive into something they happen to be doing. If it's heavy in manual labor, they'll dive more focused into the manual labor. Some people end up picking up an art form, an art craft, be it using coloring pencils, painting, markers, something of that sort. And that's their therapy, their form of release. There's another method that can de-escalate the conflict.
We're going to play
As
one last
shown here.
time, same rules. You can call me an idiot. I'm going to try to stop you. Don't let me stop you, okay? You think I can stop her? No. All right, I'll try. Here we go. On the count of 3, everyone say action. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and call me an idiot.
You're an idiot.
Oh, you think I'm an idiot?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I do stupid things. That's true.
Yeah, you do. You always do stupid things.
I know. You're so smart. You're so lucky.
Yes, I am.
You're awesome.
Thank you. And you're not.
I know. We established that. Cool. Look, my happiness is not based on whether you think I'm cool or not. I'm going to be happy even if you hate my guts.
Okay.
And I'll always be nice to you, sweetheart.
Okay. No.
Isn't she lovely?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In that video, in the first one, you saw where the bully still had control. And the second one, the bully tried to maintain control, but in the end you saw the bully completely did have no control over the situation. And it was a difference in the fact that he agreed with the bully, agreed with the person bullying and complimented them. In this case, as a man with the bully being a woman, it can be purely, it can be slightly more vocal towards points of admiration or regards to beauty. In the aspect of a guy with a male bully, it's a little bit harder to do because the insults can be a lot more targeted, more structural, targeted, damaging, to where you can't really find a way of turning it like it was done here. It is possible to be done, but it's a little bit harder. Now, bullying also comes into the lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, transsexual, LGBTQ community, purely based off of their preference, their body styles, the personas they happen to incorporate. For instance, a woman can be picked on because she dressed more like a guy than a woman. There's not necessarily a fault. That may have just been the way she grew up because she didn't have a mother figure. Or on the other case where a woman is considered overly prissy or overly needy, they could have grown up with the absence of a father figure, or lost their father figure too early, or in the case of the other one, their mother figure too early, so there wasn't a lasting imprint. Other ways that you can do this is recognize that the bully has a goal or is using the bullying as an outlet for any outrage, frustrations, or problems they might have, or if they're trying to impress some people. You can openly give them the satisfaction of the occasion, agree with them, get it over with, be done with, and probably never come across it again unless you happen to be at school and you see this person daily, at which point you gave the satisfaction in front of their friends, so he'll have to maintain the image in front of those people. Now, if you change the circumstance to where you have your own group of friends that counters the people that he's trying to impress, that may become different because the control of the number situation has changed. So, being a loner, being secluded, not the best options. Understandable that they happen, but usually not the best options. And then as a victim or as bystanders, be more open to stopping the situation versus just being an onlooker. Engage versus observe. Now, when I say engage, I don't necessarily mean go and attack the bully. That's not necessarily the point of this. The point is to change the situation, remove control of the situation. Focus on control versus action. Now, the reason I bring all this up is lately there's been a lot of school shootings. The CDC also states that a good percentage of the school shootings can be tagged or related to bullying that occurred, harassment, or poor home environment. Unfortunately, nobody ever focuses on this. They focus on the action, they focus on the action, but not the buildup. If we can stop the buildup, we can stop the action altogether. At which point, the original issue that developed, the bullying, is resolved. Now, the only way this can be done is more active engagement through students' lives or children's lives, or engagement through your friends. If you see that somebody's stressed, and ask them what's going on. If they want to be quiet and secluded, let them be until they want to talk to. But if you happen to see it worsen, try to engage a little bit more. And don't necessarily try and just let it stand and let it be.